Hello, everybody. Terry Thompson here, and I am here to get you motivated and inspired on this amazing day, Saturday. All right, so welcome to my live. If you are new to my channel or you don't know who I am, once again, my name is Terry Thompson. I am a motivational speaker. I am an author. I'm an entrepreneur, businessman, however you want to label it. Basically, I do a lot of different things, and I'm here to motivate and inspire you from one of my books. So I've written 5 books, and I want to talk to you today from one of my books called Leadership Secrets Every Leader Should Know. Now, I named it that for a particular reason because I really have 24 years of knowledge and experience of leading others to personal and professional success, and I want to do the same thing for you. So I want to read from my book. Hey, how you doing? Nice of you to join me here. Thank you. All right, so USA Blogger 2019 just joined me, and if you have not connected with her, please make sure you connect with her. She is an absolutely motivational speaker, great content, great business savvy person. She also has a Patreon page, so make sure you go ahead and join that. That way you can show your support for the content that she puts out. Absolutely amazing supporter, and I want to thank you for showing up to my live. All right, so I'm here to read to you from my book, Leadership Secrets Every Leader Should Know. All right, now, once again, I've been a leader for over 24 years. I've led thousands of people to personal and professional success, and I want to do the same thing for you. Okay, now I know that that sounds like an absolutely interesting, opportunity here, but opportunities are everywhere. Hey, Liza, how's everything going today? Hopefully you're feeling inspired because I'm here to motivate and inspire you as well, too. All right. So just by you being here, that inspires me. USA Blogger 2019, that inspires me that you're here as well, too. And I'm highly motivated for today's opportunity. So back to what I was talking about here, opportunities. Have you ever been presented with a great opportunity? I mean, an opportunity that just sounds so great that it just sounds too good to be true. Every single day there's opportunities everywhere. Everywhere you turn, there's opportunities to do this. There's opportunities to do that. Okay. Not some of them are good, some of them not so good, whatever. But when an opportunity presents itself, have you ever noticed how energized you are? My goodness, I know that whenever I get an opportunity, and I'm like, man, this is really a great opportunity. It really energizes me. It provides that energy that I need in order to take appropriate action. Have you ever noticed that? Have you ever had the hair stand up on your arm whenever you get something that's like, man, this is motivating, this is inspiring? I know that I have. All right. Now, I know that there's lots of people out there that are adrenaline junkies, and they're looking for new and exciting ways to basically kind of get their fix, so to speak. These people love the rush of being on the edge and will look for every opportunity to live life to the fullest. All right. So let me know in the chat. Have you ever seen a lot of those people that are out there that does those kind of things? They create this content and these videos of just over the top, over the edge type stuff. They're like these adrenaline junkies. That stuff's exciting to watch. It really is. Now, myself personally, I wouldn't go out there and do some of the crazy stuff that they're doing. But my goodness, some of that stuff is just absolutely crazy. All right. Now, I'm not telling you that you have to go out there and seek every adrenaline-filled, super energized thing to get yourself into. But when you're faced with a great opportunity, you need to seize the moment and work as hard as you can to take advantage of the opportunity so that it doesn't pass you by. All right, so let me know in the chat, how many of you want to start your own business? You don't have your own business, but you would like to start your own business. Okay, I know myself. I have many online businesses because there's lots of opportunities that are out there. I was just watching a great live stream by USA Blogger 2019, and she presented a bunch of really great ideas on how to start a business. Okay, because there's opportunities that are out there every single day. Okay, I myself, my business originally started years ago writing. okay, because I'm a good writer. Now, here's how I started it years ago. I really first started writing blog posts on a website. Okay, and that's kind of how I got started within the online world and the online business and online entrepreneurship type stuff. Is I really kind of started doing what's called search engine optimization blog posts, creating content around things that people are looking for, things that people are searching for. All right, so Google is the #1 search engine in the world. Well, guess what number 2 is? You guessed it. It's right here. It's YouTube. YouTube is the #2 search engine in the world that happens to be owned by Google. So #1 and #2 is Google and YouTube. Okay. So let me kind of backtrack a little bit. Let me go back a few years ago. All right. So I first started writing blog posts years ago, and that was really kind of my first take at being in the business world. What I did was I created a lot of content based off of my knowledge, my experience in basically hopes to motivate and inspire others from my example so that they too could learn and grow and develop into the leader that they wanted to be. Okay, so that's an opportunity, writing. There's other great opportunities that are out there as well too. So being in the digital age, okay, there's so many different ways in which you can build a business in the digital age. One, like I mentioned, blog posts. 2, you can create ebooks, okay, or physical books. So I have both. Well, actually, I've got ebooks, I've got physical books, and I've got audio books. Okay, and in and of itself, that is a great opportunity right there. You can really let yourself shine with your knowledge and your experience in the form of an ebook, a physical book, or even an audio book, or what I'm doing right now, which is posting on YouTube, which is also a digital format of sharing knowledge and experience. Okay. Lots of opportunities out there. So kind of stay in line with what I was talking about with opportunities. There's never a lack of opportunities. Okay, here's a great quote. There's never a lack of resources, only a lack of resourcefulness. Okay, when you lack resourcefulness, in other words, you lack creativity, you lack the ability in which to take what is already there and form it into something that does not exist. Okay. So there's lots of opportunities that are out there to share your knowledge, share your experience, and so that others may learn from it and grow from it. I've absolutely never been ashamed or never been afraid to learn from other people. Like I said earlier, all right, I've got over 24 years knowledge and experience of leading others to personal and professional success. But guess what? I also learned from those that I led during that process. I'll share a quick story with you. I remember years ago, because I've also worked various jobs. Like, for example, I've built networking systems, okay, computers, networking, this, that, and the other. So I remember one time I was out and I was putting cables up in a roof and, in a ceiling, trying to build this network out in this building that I was working in. And one of my supervisors came by and said, "What are you doing?" Right? It was one of those things. I was like, well, if I'm going to be able to tell other people what to do, I need to know what it is that I'm doing before I can do that. So that's the reason why I'm doing this. I'm doing the work so that I can coach, teach, train, and mentor others to do exactly what it is that I was doing. Because you know what? Had I not been down that road, one, I wouldn't be able to tell others what to do or how to do it, but I would really feel bad at trying to tell them what to do had I not been down that road. Because believe me, people are smart nowadays. They will challenge you on everything. How many of you grew up into the day and age where, you had somebody say, if you was told to do something and you asked why, and somebody said, well, because I said so. Nowadays, that's not enough. Because I said so is not really enough. You have to really kind of be able to coach, teach, train, mentor, and then show people how to do things. And that's one of the reasons why I really love watching USA Blogger 2019. She really gives a lot of great examples on how to do things because she's been there. She's done that. She has that knowledge and experience and is not afraid to share those things with people as well too. All right. So one of the worst things that I ever had a leader tell me is that it's not my job, okay, to teach you or to train you. That was the worst thing. All right, so I want to give a shout out here as well too to Taglish Vlog. She has joined us here. Thank you for watching. All right, Indai Emily, I want to thank you for joining me. Siberian Husky Mom, I want to thank you for joining me. So time for a little bit of shout outs here. Velex Vlog, thank you for joining me here and watching today. Maxine Hunting, thank you for joining me here today. Please, smash that like button if you haven't. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel as well too. I hope that I didn't miss anybody here. So kind of scrolling down here through some of the participants that I cannot see as the hoster. I was going to try to do that, but I guess I can't. I guess I can't do that. So I got to learn how to look at that. I'm just now trying to discover how to go live here. So I'm really kind of getting used to the process here. And I'm learning from some great people like Gordy Bobs. I'm learning from USA Blogger, learning from, watching a lot of these other live streams here. So I'm truly trying to grasp that concept here. All right. So once again, thank you for joining me. What I'm doing is I'm reading from my book, Leadership Secrets Every Leader Should Know. Okay. And back to the story that I was telling you a minute ago here. So one of the worst things that I ever had a leader tell me is it's not my job to train you or to teach you. At that moment in time, I lost all respect for that person. I lost all respect for that person because how could you be in a leadership position and it's not your job to teach, train, coach, or mentor those that are junior or subordinate to you? For me, it blew my mind. It really did. All right, so moving right along here. Here's one that I like to call never a perfect moment. So let me ask you, have you ever caught yourself waiting for that perfect moment to do something only to keep waiting and waiting and waiting? Well, I'm here to tell you that if you are waiting for that perfect moment to do something, you are wasting valuable time and energy. Now is the time to build that business. Now is the time to grow your YouTube channel. Now is the time to build that blog. Now is the time to get on Patreon and start you a Patreon page. Okay, now is the time. All right, so I'm here to tell you once again, if you're waiting for that perfect moment to do something, you're wasting valuable time and energy. So why not get started now? Turn off that television set, put down that game, quit procrastinating on time wasters. Stop fooling yourself into believing that the perfect moment is just around the corner and start accomplishing the things that matter most in your life, because you know what? I'm here to tell you that there is never a perfect moment. Does this sound like you? I know myself, and I'm going to be absolutely transparent here. Okay. Even today, I still struggle with procrastination. I still struggle with it even today. And I've got so many tools and techniques that I use over the years in order to stop that, but I still struggle with it. It's still something that I do struggle with. So that's me kind of being transparent with you. All right. So, well, here's what I've learned. Whenever I find myself struggling with something, okay, the idea is to just go ahead and take immediate action or no action at all. If you find yourself struggling with something and you can't take immediate action, then it's not time. Go ahead and put that on the back burner and then do that later on. But if it's something that you can say, I'm going to do this, here it is, I can take immediate action, then it's the right time. Okay? Now, I'm not here to tell you that everything is a great opportunity and everything you should take action on. But I'm going to also tell you and share with you that if you have any reservations about doing something, then it's not time. But the best thing you can do is take immediate action. All right, so here's one that I like to call perspective versus potential. All right, so a tool that I use to teach perspective. Now this was kind of a difficult one, and a lot of people struggle with perspective. Okay, because really everything is a matter of perspective. All right, have you ever noticed that? So let me share something with you as well too. Here's a concept that I came up with a while ago, and I've been challenged on this particular concept by several people. But once I let them know on what my perspective is, then they begin to kind of understand, you actually onto something here. All right, so here's a concept: spam. I think that everything on the internet is spam. Okay, it's interesting now that I know that that's kind of an interesting thing for me to talk about, but I truly believe that. I truly believe that everything on the internet is spam based on perspective, which is also subjective. All right. So, what may be considered amazing, great content by one person? Yeah, no worries, no worries. I'll catch up to you. I'll catch up to you sometime, though. But thanks for stopping by, though. Really. All right. It's a matter of perspective. So, let me break something down to you. Let's say, for example, if I was to post something out on the internet, whether it be a video, whether it be an audio, whether it be a blog post, whether it be anything. Depending on the perspective that you look at it, it can be considered spam by somebody. Okay? It can be considered spam. It could also be considered the greatest thing in the world by the next person. So I always kind of questions like, man, what really makes something great content versus spam, versus not so great? I think it's a matter of perspective. All right, so here's what I used to do. A tool that I used to teach perspective is that I would have 5 people look at a wall, and I would have them tell me what it is that they have just seen. It's no surprise that I have always received 5 completely different answers based off of their perspective. Now, perspective has a lot to do with how a person was raised and in what environment or upbringing. Okay. Perspective also has to do with knowledge level and training or experience. And perspective can also be determined if a person is open or closed-minded. In other words, receptive. So you see, perspective comes from many different places and has many different meanings. But in order to truly understand perspective, you have to believe that what you are trying to put into perspective has the possibility of being something greater than what it really is, which is potential. So I ask you this: do you believe that we often lower the potential of what something could be based off our perspective of what we believe that something is? If so, what do you think you could do to change your perspective on something to give it greater potential? All right. Kind of an interesting concept. Would you agree? All right. So here's something that I like to call slow down. All right. Are you always in a hurry? Do you run around in complete circles at top speed, but never really seem to be going anywhere? Have you ever been or seen someone who is frantically overwhelmed that it causes unnecessary stress and hardship to them and those around them? I know that I myself, I've been around those types of people at work, and it can absolutely be stressful whenever you're around those types of people. They're never prepared for anything. They're always in a hurry. They always wait for the last minute to do something. So have you ever seen a person that is like that they're just so much in a hurry that they're just frantic and lost? All right. Well, look at it this way. Once you take the time to slow down, you will see that life is not a race, but a journey. Okay. All right. So do we have Gordy Bobs in the house? Gordy Bobs. Gordy Bobs is in the house. Thank you for joining me, sir. Thank you. Honestly. Thank you. All right. I have without a shadow of a doubt that if you join Gordy Bobs and his crew, that you will grow. Okay. Gordy Bobs, I just want to say thank you. It's been an amazing experience over the last month being a part of you, your team, and your crew. And I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for your content, your live streams. And it is because of you that I have built the confidence to come on here live and to motivate and inspire others. I just started focusing on my YouTube channel. I've always had one, but I never really focused on it. Okay. And now I see the potential in having a YouTube channel. Now I see the potential in what it can become. And it's another medium and another platform in which to reach people, to motivate and inspire them. And Gordy Bob's USA Blogger 2019, and everybody that is here that is joining me on this live, I want to thank you, because it is because of you that I exist. It is because of you that I want to continue to learn and grow, motivate and inspire, and give you the content that will help you grow and, build yourself into a greater version of yourself. Okay, because we are evolving every single day. We are evolving. I am evolving. I hope that you are evolving. And I hope that by watching what it is that I am offering you, that you are able to grow, whether it's personally or professionally, into the person that you want to be. And I hope that you will become the person that you set out to be. Dream big. All right. Have great big dreams. I really hope that each and every one of you have great big dreams. All right, so here's one that I like to call, don't defeat me, complete me. If a leader finds a shortcoming in an employee, it is better to teach them than to judge them. We live in a world today where a lot of people are highly judgmental. Would you agree or disagree? I think that every single day there are people out there that are being judged, but they're being judged prematurely. Okay. So if you judge me today based off of the person that you see in front of you, all right, you are really judging a person that is not complete yet. I'm still learning. I'm still growing. I'm still developing into the person that I want to become, because I'm not there yet. All right. So don't defeat me, complete me. If you have knowledge and you have experience, please share that with somebody. It is easy to absolutely judge someone and tear them down, as opposed to providing your knowledge and experience in order to build them up positively. Okay? I can easily tear somebody down, easily, without a shadow of a doubt. Words are powerful. Okay? Words are very powerful. Sometimes the words that hurt can also heal. Have you ever heard that? The same words that can hurt can also heal. All right. It's all in a matter of how you look at it. So let me ask you this. Have you ever had a boss or a supervisor that would just identify every fault that you ever made? I know myself, I have. Okay. I've definitely had a few and found that their judgmental preaching was destructive instead of constructive. All right. So whenever I give feedback, I like to give constructive feedback versus destructive feedback. So when you give constructive feedback, listen to the word construct. You're constructing, you're building, you're lifting somebody up rather than destroying them, tearing them down. So when you do give feedback to someone, especially out here on YouTube, all right, when you're out here on YouTube and you're commenting on other people's posts, if you have an opinion, if you have a perspective, that's great. Okay. Try to offer value rather than just tearing somebody apart. Okay. Because here's the thing. When you're out there leaving comments on YouTube and they're bad comments, you're really kind of saying a lot about yourself than you are the other person. Okay. You always want to leave a good trail. All right. Because everything that you say and do will come back to get you in the long run. All right. You may think that you're saying something about somebody else, but you're really saying more about yourself than you are the other person. So keep that in mind. All right. As a leader, you need to learn to be empathetic in order to be sympathetic. Okay. So empathy. when you look at empathy, it's that's taking yourself and putting yourself in somebody else's shoes, because at the end of the day, you don't know what that other person may be going through. You don't know that. All you see is that they're struggling. Maybe it looks like they're having a bad day. They just can't quite get things together. Okay. When you see somebody doing that, the worst thing you can do is shove them in the dirt even more. You want to lift them up. You want to have empathy, okay, by putting yourself in their shoes and seeing what type of value you can offer. Okay. All right, so here's some tips or some suggestions that will help establish or maintain effective team building. All right, so let me know in the chat here, how many of you are like team leaders or supervisors, or you're in charge of someone, or even that matter, you have kids, okay, that you are responsible for, or, you know, somebody that you're responsible for, in other words. Let me know. All right, so here's some tips. These concepts will prove to be beneficial not only to individual team members, but an organization, regardless of where you are. So giving your employees the benefit of the doubt that maybe they didn't understand the intent of the task by not being too good to repeat the task or restate the intent another way so that it is understood. Okay. You know, sometimes whenever instructions are given to somebody, a lot of times it's not necessarily understood, or maybe they need to be put in a different perspective or a different light so that they can be understood. All right. So developmental counseling sessions that identify overall strengths and weaknesses to develop a team member positively into the employee that you want them to be and the success that they want to be. I strongly believe in developmental counseling. Now, all right, I'm also a certified counselor. I believe in developmental counseling. I think that developmental counseling is the one thing that teams and organizations need to implement in order to grow and develop junior leaders. Okay. Now, years ago, I used to counsel my employees, and I kind of had 4 key areas that I focused in on. And what I would do is I would count, I don't like to use the word just straight counseling. I like to use the word developmental counseling. Okay, because what you're doing is you're developing them into the person or the leader that, or the employee that you want them to become. Okay, now I'll have more on that in another video, because I really think that developmental counseling really kind of deserves its own video. But, implement developmental counseling within your team. I really think that you can do that, and it'll help build up your team. Here's a really good one that I tried years ago, and believe it or not, it absolutely worked wonders. And what I did was I started a junior leadership program. A junior leadership program. What this is that I allowed junior employees or subordinate employees, however you want to look at it, the opportunity to be the leader. I gave them the opportunity to be the leader, and I made the leaders follow them. Okay, you get to be the leader for today. I will do what you tell me to do. That gives them so much experience. You'd really be surprised at how much experience having a junior leadership day does. You can even do that with your kids. Have your kids be in charge for a day, and you as the parent do what your kids tell you to do. I do that with my kids all the time, and it works wonders, because it gives them that knowledge, that experience, that competence, and more importantly, that confidence, okay, to take charge when in charge. But if you don't do that, you will never develop the skills, the knowledge, the experience, the competence, and the confidence in those subordinates or those junior leaders. So that way, when they get to that level of doing things, they will be able to do those things instead of shying away from those types of things. But you have to start that at an early age. All right, so those are just a few, and I just wanted to share those. All right, so here's another one. Here's one that I like to call stuck on stubborn. Have you ever tried to help someone who stubbornly refuses your assistance? I know that I have, and it's very frustrating when you try to offer help to someone, or you try to offer assistance to someone, and they just don't take it. That's frustrating. Deep down in your heart, you're trying to help someone, and they just absolutely are not trying to hear a word that you're saying. Sometimes you just can't help someone who is stuck on stubborn, but at least you can put forth the effort to try. And sometimes that's all that I ask. As long as you try, sometimes that's the best thing to do. It might not be perfect, but as long as you try and you're showing the effort, that speaks volumes. Okay? All right, so keep trying, because eventually these people who are stuck will see the light and you will break through their stubbornness. Believe me, once this breakthrough happens, the person you've just helped will be thankful that you did. Okay? Yeah, absolutely. It's interesting, when Siberian Husky Mom, she said, it's frustrating, and then you witness their downfall. I'll share a quick story with you. Here's a quick story with you. All right, so have you ever been at a grocery store and you've seen a cashier behind a grocery store that is just having a really bad day, and they are just stuck? They're just absolutely stuck, and they're taking out that frustration of, whatever circumstances that they have going on out on the customers that are coming through the cashier. Have you ever experienced that? I know that I have, and I'll share a quick story with you. So I went through a cashier one time, and she was having a very bad day. It was obvious that she was stuck on, not necessarily stubborn, but just stuck on having a bad day. She was rushing people through, saying, hurry up, get through, hurry up, get through, hurry up, let me get you next, hurry up, hurry, and that's what this person was doing. And I could just tell that the more products that she would, get through, and the more customer that she would help try to get through, the more frustrated that she got. So when I showed up, I smiled at her, said, hey, how's everything going? I'm doing good. She was kind of frustrated at me and taking it out on me. Very unfair, but I was like, okay, I can do one of two things in this particular situation. I can either try to compete with this person, and be angry, because anger only breeds more anger. Or I can take this situation and try to create a positive situation from it. So that's what I chose, being the person that I am. So I kind of asked her, I just looked at her and I said, hey, what time do you get off today? And it was kind of funny. She kind of looked at me like, not answering that question. And I was like, no, I'm being serious. What time do you get off today? She goes, why, are you trying to take me out? Like, no. I said, I'm married. I've been married for over 20 years, and I definitely don't think that it would work between us. But I'm being serious. I said, what time do you actually get off work today? So, after me being persistent with this person, she finally answered the question, and she goes, I get off at 10 o'clock. And I'm like, well, what's your hurry? Why are you in such a hurry to get everybody through? I said, you're going to wear yourself out before you even get off shift. So she kind of stopped, took a step back, and was like, wow, I am being kind of rude to the customers, and I am kind of rushing people through. And I was like, yeah. I was like, you control your situation. This is your cashier. You control that. You control the situation. You're in charge here. Okay. And she was so busy, wrapped up in herself and trying to get everybody through, that she didn't realize that she was being very disrespectful to every person that came through there. So here's what she did. She looked at me and said, thank you. Thank you. And I was like, you're welcome. Because it really needed that outside perspective to get her to slow down enough to realize that she could totally change her outcome, totally change her mindset, totally change her day and her shift simply by slowing down and realizing that she is in charge of her own destiny. So don't get stuck. If you ever find yourself getting stuck, take a step back. Realize that you are in control, you are in charge, and you have exactly what it takes in order to succeed within your day. And the best thing that you can do is to take ownership in that. So many people don't take ownership in what they can or cannot control. More importantly, the things that they can control. Okay, because there's lots of things that you can't control. There's lots of things that happen on a daily basis that I can't control. But what I try to do is I try to control the things that I can't, and let go of the things let go or that I can. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. Control the things that I can and let go of the things that I cannot control. Okay? You're going to wear yourself out if you try to control everything within your day. All right, so here's one that I like to call outside perspective. Have you ever seen or been around one of those people that absolutely refuses to seek or take anyone's help? That kind of ties hand in hand with the story that I just shared with you. All right, so sometimes they just need a little outside perspective. Generally speaking, when someone offers advice or help, they are not trying to impose or be rude or even overstep their boundaries by thinking that you are dumb or that you are stupid. They are merely offering a helping hand from their perspective because they have seen something that maybe you didn't. See how that kind of ties back in with the story that I just shared with you? Okay? So the next time that someone offers their assistance, don't hesitate to at least give it a try. Okay? Because if someone is saying something to you, it means that they see something from their perspective. All right? Don't be too proud that you can't at least listen to someone. Now, of course, it's still up to you to take appropriate action. It's still up to you to choose what you want to do. All right? But the best thing that you can do is listen. Listen. So many people just start talking or they get defensive without even listening to what is being said or done. Have you ever found yourself in that situation? I know that I have. You know, I found myself in situations where somebody said something and I just immediately start shutting them down instead of just taking the opportunity to listen what they fully had to say, not necessarily agreeing with them, but saying, okay, thank you. You know, I understand where you're coming from. You still have that choice to take appropriate action or not take appropriate action. All right. So here's one that I like to call create everlasting memories. All right. So don't get so caught up in the memory of how things used to be in the past that you can't create new memories to enjoy in the future. All right. There are people that walk around moaning and groaning every single day about how things used to be. They reminisce constantly about what is called the good life that they used to have, and then today's life is so miserable. Have you ever experienced that? Have you ever seen people that do those types of things? It's like they're stuck in the past. You know, I mean, look, I'm 47 years old. I'm about ready to be 48. Okay. And I grew up in the 70s and the 80s. And don't get me wrong, I am proud to be from the 70s and the 80s. I truly am. I will talk about that all the time. I'm like, you know what? The music today just ain't the same. The people aren't the same, this and that. You know, I still find myself being stuck in the 70s and the 80s because that's the time that I grew up in. That's the time that I experienced some of the greatest memories within my life. But that doesn't necessarily mean that I cannot create new memories or new experiences along the way. Okay. The thing that you need to understand is that all those memories in the past that you cherish so much were created, but more importantly, they were created by you. Okay. They were created by you. So you can talk about all the things that you want, saying, oh, today's this, today's that, it's not this. You know what? If you find a gap in something that you that's not happening positively within your life, then go create that. Go create that positivity. Go create that new thing. Go create that memory. Go create that. You have the opportunity to do that. You can do that. Go create that. So my challenge to you is to create new memories today that you will cherish tomorrow, because if you don't get out there and make it happen, you will not have those memories to enjoy and to share. All right. All right. So here's one that I like to call It's Just Begun. So I'm going to start this one off with a quote. All right. Just when you think it's over, it's just begun. Great quote. I love that quote. All right. This statement, however, has two sides to it, depending on your attitude towards the situation, which basically has both a positive and a negative. So the negative side to it is that when you think it's over, you give up. And then you know what? You're right. It's over. When you give up, when you quit, before you even get to the finish line, USA Blogger 2019 was talking about this the other day. If you catch her live streams, I'm telling you, listen to her live stream. She has a lot of golden nuggets in there. She has a lot of great content, tips, tools, techniques in her live streams that will motivate and inspire you to be a better person. Okay. And now she touched on something the other day that really inspired me. So many people quit and give up before they even reach the finish line. And it's sad. Sometimes that success is right there in front of you and you don't see it because it doesn't happen immediately. We're kind of caught up in a day and age where everybody is into this, it's got to happen now. It's got to happen now. I got to have this success now. I got to achieve this goal now. I got to have this money now. I got to have this, whatever it is now. Okay, you have to be able to put in the work, the time, the effort, the energy, the consistency, and the persistency in order to achieve anything of value and of great success. Okay, you have to be able to do those types of things. All right, so let me share this. If you look at this from a positive perspective and think of this as an opportunity, then your journey to something better has just begun. All right. It's just begun. After all, if you've hit rock bottom and you think it's over, there's nowhere to go but up, thus beginning your journey to something better than you previously were. So my challenge to you is this. When you think you've hit rock bottom and it looks like it's over, embrace the idea that it's not over, but it's the beginning to something better. All right, so I'm going to take a short pause here and just thank some people that are in the room here. If you have not subscribed to my channel yet, please subscribe to my channel. Hit that thumbs up, share, and make sure that you hit that bell icon there so that way you get notified when I go live. I really need to get on more of a schedule of when I go live. So I really don't have a schedule at the moment, but I need to kind of get on more of a schedule. So I'm still trying to figure out this whole live thing on when I need to go live. I'm thinking about starting a show. All right. I'm thinking about starting like a series. So that way, like, okay, Tuesdays, here's something, maybe Saturdays is something, whatever the case. I'm thinking about starting some type of a series. And I haven't quite figured out what I want to call it just yet. But if any of you guys have any great ideas, I'm definitely open to recommendations and suggestions. But I just want to take an opportunity here to recognize some people within the room that are watching me live here. And I want to give some shout outs here. All right. So Gordy Bobs, if you've not connected with Gordy Bobs, please connect with Gordy Bobs. Absolutely amazing person. His live streams, are a great opportunity to connect with other people and to grow with other people. All right. And you will definitely discover a lot of things if you watch Gordy Bob's live. All right. If you watch USA Blogger 2019, I want to send a shout out to USA Blogger 2019. Her lives are absolutely value filled. She will literally motivate and inspire you to learn, grow, develop, whether it's in life, whether it's in business, whether it's personal, whether it's professional. She's a motivational speaker, and I guarantee that you will learn from her. Just make sure that you subscribe to her channel as well, too, and watch. And you know what? That's a great idea. Deeper thinking. There you go. Deeper Thinking with Terry Wade Thompson. Patrick Jane Forums, thank you for sharing that with me. It's something that I may have to consider. I'm definitely open for more ideas. I was thinking, initially maybe Terry Talks or something, or maybe Leadership Is, or something along. But I like that though. Deeper Thinking with Terry Wade Thompson, I think is. I'll definitely consider that. Thank you for sharing that. Okay. All right. So also in the room we have a Siberian Husky Mom. I want to thank you for joining me. And Indy Emily, thank you for joining. Thank you for watching here. Liza Salutis TV, thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. Patrick Jane Forums, thank you for watching. Make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you share this so that way others can come and watch. I hope that you're receiving value. If you're receiving value on today's live, please let me know. Give me, something here within the chat, I don't know, an emoji or, hey, this is valuable. Hey, I really enjoy this. Let me know. If there's something that you want me to talk about, leave that in the chat. I can kind of break away from what it is that I'm talking about. And, if there's something that you want to hear my thoughts on, or you want to hear, what I have to say about it, please let me know within the chat there. And I will give a shout out to you, and I will answer your questions, whatever you may have. So once again, I'm an entrepreneur. I actually own a lot of internet websites here, that business sites that have created multiple streams of income for myself. So if you don't know anything about me, let me kind of stop and share a little bit about me. My name is Terry Thompson. I am a motivational speaker. I am an author. I am an entrepreneur. I am a training developer. So once again, these are all kind of titles and labels. All right. But there's lots of opportunity that's out there of things that I'm diving into. I also build websites. I'm a graphics designer. I do audio work. I do video work. I'm also a musician. So here's kind of a fun fact. I'm also a musician. I know USA Blogger, you really wanted me to jump on screen one of these days with my guitars and everything and kind of create some music videos. And I thought about doing that. And I may do that one of these days, just jump on screen with my musical instruments and sing a song or do something for everybody. I may have to do that. Believe it or not, my first YouTube channel was 12 years ago, and it actually was a music channel. All right. I used to get on and play guitar, and I would sing and this, that, and the other. And I don't know what happened to that channel. I think it got taken down or what have you. I just know that I can't access it no more. So probably because I didn't log into it for about 10 years. I think that's probably what happened. All right. So, all right, so a question here within the chat room is there a way to deal with a negative boss? Siberian Husky Mom, thank you for a great question. Is there a way to deal with a negative boss? Yes, there absolutely is a way to deal with a negative boss. Okay, now, bosses and supervisors, there's different ways of looking at things. Somebody asked me a question the other day, is like, what do I think a CEO is? All right, a CEO, which is really, the technical term for it is Chief Executive Officer. But what I did is I put a twist on it, and I said Chief Enabling Officer, which I think that as a boss, as a supervisor, CEO, whatever label you want to put on it, your job is not to just be in charge, but to enable others through your knowledge and your experience, okay, in order to accomplish the mission or the task, whatever label you want to put on it. So here's one way in which you can deal with a negative boss. Don't necessarily agree with everything that they say. Now you don't have to disagree, okay? But don't just become a yes person for the sake of having them be quiet. Because remember, once you say yes, you've agreed to that. However, offering knowledge and experience and advice towards that person sometimes might be the best route to go. Remember, at the end of the day, the boss only wants one thing. The supervisor, once again, whatever label you want, they want one thing. They want results. That's it. That's the end of the line. That's the bottom of the line, what they want. They want results. And your job is to offer those results. Okay? Now, at the moment of, I guess, impact, so to speak, you don't want to be defensive. You don't want to say, oh, I can't do that. Oh, whatever the case may be. The idea is to listen, take what they have given you as a task, and then figure out a way in which you can accomplish that legally and with the resources that you have. Believe me, I've been told many times to go make something happen, and I didn't have the resources. I didn't have the people. I didn't have the equipment. But yet I got to figure out how to make that happen. That sucks. That absolutely sucks when you're in that type of a situation, okay? But the idea is that the boss or the supervisor already knows that it's possible. And that's what you need to understand, that the boss and the supervisor already knows that it's possible, and they've given you that opportunity in which to shine. They've given you that opportunity to grow, learn, develop. Remember, sometimes when a boss tells you to do something, there's different ways on why they're telling you to do something. One, because it has to be done, or two, they're giving you an opportunity to learn, grow, or develop into a person that you are not yet, but you are trying to become. So you got to think of it in terms of that right there. Okay. So I know that myself, there's some things that I am weak at. All right. And my boss is trying to get me to do those types of things. So the best way to build somebody up is to give them something to do that they're not necessarily strong at. If we're strong at something, okay, sometimes, and you're considered the subject matter expert, that's great. Go ahead. Do those types of things. But you don't want to be a one-trick pony, so to speak, or you don't want to be a one-hit wonder. You have to be able to learn, develop, and grow other skills as well, too. And sometimes that's why bosses tell you to do things, and they're really difficult, or they're really adamant about doing those things because they're trying to increase your capability for the betterment of the team. And they have to stand by that, and they have to basically be adamant about that. And it's not like they're trying to be rude, difficult, or hard to get along with. It's just that they know what they're doing in order to build the team. Okay. All right. So let me kind of catch up here. Looks like there was a couple little comments here along the way. All right. So Siberian Husky Mom, I give it. Hit targets every time, only one of me and my team. They just want more that I can't give. I'm a kitchen designer. Okay. Being one of one, I get that. It really sucks when you're one of one and then you're asked to do things that are not a part of your bottom line up front. But here's one way in which I attack that. Okay. Be mindful that when you're already tasked to do something, and your boss or supervisor puts you on something else, and you know that you have to get this thing done, but now you have new requirements being put on you, the best thing to do is, and this is how I've approached it, once again, this is just me. I've said, hey, boss, you know you already have me on this task right here. Do you want me to drop doing this right here because this has become the new priority? Or would you rather me take action somewhere else? You know what I'm saying? Have them decide, because sometimes the boss just knows all the things that has to get done, but sometimes they don't understand the things that you're going through, especially if there's no crosstalk and communication, or they may have forgot that, hey, oh, wow, I forgot you're actually on that task right there. So let me hold off on this. Let me not add anything new because, it'll overwhelm you or whatever the case may be. Sometimes introducing what you're currently working on will get your boss or supervisor to take a step back and say, oh, yeah, that's great. I know you're doing that. So, and your boss may shift. Maybe this new thing or this new requirement is the new requirement, and you need to stop action on the other thing and start focusing on this. But make your boss decide. But you have to introduce the things that you're struggling with or that you got going on, okay? Hopefully that helped you out right there. Hopefully that gave you at least something. If it did, please let me know. If I didn't fully answer your question, once again, please let me know. But I hope that it did. Okay. All right. So here's something that I like to call build something, not destroy. Anyone can destroy something, but not everyone is building something. Okay. All right, so let me take a stop here. Let me take a break here. All right, so you did that, and you got hauled back into the office for a big lecture. Okay, so when it come down to the priorities, did you ever come to a resolution, or basically you wanted both priorities to become a priority? So let me kind of ask you that right there. All right, so while you're thinking about that, let me go ahead and continue on here. Oh, wow. So you was forced to work 6 hours without no break. Well, I've done that. I've worked 48 hours with no break. Okay. It sucks whenever you have to really put in that overtime. It really does. So I'll share a quick story with you. I remember one time that I was working on something and we was doing inventories. Okay. We had inventories that we had to get ready for, and I had to prepare some paperwork for the equipment that I was responsible for. Now I had 6 sheds or garages or what are those things? I forget what they're called. This was years ago when this happened. So I had like 6, I guess, sheds full of equipment that I was responsible for, and we was about ready to do inventories. And our boss had a new requirement of having everything on some paperwork before we did the inventories, and they had to be done by the end of the day. Well, I spent all day long doing this stuff and took it back at the end of the day, only to realize that, hey, I did it wrong. And he said, before you go home, you will have this done. And I'm like, oh my goodness. I was like, I just did this all day long, and now you want to tell me at the end of the day that I did it wrong, and this is a new format that you want me to do this on? That sucked. Well, I had no choice. I stayed overnight, and I worked all night and into the next day to get all this done. Now, while I was working, guess what happened? Everybody else went home. I finished what it was that I was trying to finish and tried to take it back over, and my boss was gone. I was like, well, gosh, if you're going to tell me to stay overnight and work on it and I don't go home until this is done, why did you go home? I found myself kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place of being told to do something, but yet my boss wasn't doing what it is that he told me to do. It was really, that was a tough situation to be in. It really was. But you know what? I put my head down. I grinded it out. I hustled. I did what it was that I was supposed to do. I took it back the next day after staying there all night long, got it done, took it back, and that was what needed to be done. Okay, now I had other things that I needed to do. I actually dropped everything that I was doing to focus on this one thing because, well, that was the priority. Once I got that done, then I went back in and I took appropriate action to get started on what that next task was. Okay. All right. So yeah, big lectures. It's really kind of a tough one to deal with. Nobody really likes to be lectured. Oftentimes we want the simple answer, and sometimes the simple answer isn't always so simple. I'll give you another example on that. The other day I was asking one of my, it wasn't my direct supervisor, but it was one of the leaders within the organization. I said, hey, I want to get your perspective on this. What do you think of this document right here? Before I get it through the signature approval process. Well, I was expecting a simple yes, yeah, this looks good, go ahead and take it. But anyway, 30 minutes later, after I was provided lots of, input and feedback and this, that, and the other, I never really did get the answer that I was looking for. So I'm sitting here like, gosh, I never really got the answer that I wanted. So what do? I was kind of stuck there. So here's what I did. I was like, okay, you don't want to give me feedback. I took the document, went, got it signed anyway. I made a choice. And sometimes making a choice and making a decision, okay, without that clear guidance, okay, that's something you got to kind of take that on your own. Do what you can handle or what your position can handle or the authority that you've been given can handle, but don't overstep your boundaries to the point to where you're disrespecting your boss or your supervisor. Okay. All right. So let me kind of catch up here. Yeah. Lunch break. That really sucks. I don't take lunch breaks. I take all my stuff in with me and I eat as I'm working. What happens in my area manager came in and saw you behaving like this. I'm not sure what you're getting at with that one. Stand by me. I had that chat with him in the morning and he supported me. You're now in a second job ready to leave, but have to get more hours first. I'll share a quick story with you. So my sister, for example, she's a supervisor at 2 completely different locations. So she has 2 different locations she has to balance. And the hard thing that she has is with her employees walking all over her and basically calling in sick. I can't do this. I can't do that. Oh, I don't want to do this, or I don't have the experience to do that. Or, it's always these different excuses, and my sister constantly has to cover down for these people. And it really sucks. And I always talk to her and I always tell her, I was like, you're the supervisor. Why are you covering down for your employees? And why are you letting them walk all over you? And she kind of looked at me, she's like, well, the work has to be done. I'm like, okay, that's great that the work has to be done, but have your employee do the work while you're there with them. Still hold them accountable, because if you don't hold them accountable, they're going to continue to walk all over you. Okay. And sometimes that's kind of a tough balance with the supervisor, is holding people accountable, because you don't want to let them go because you value their work, you value their worth, you value their efforts and their experience and their knowledge, because sometimes that's hard to replace. All right. That really is. But don't be afraid to ask for help. Okay. Just to kind of tie this up, don't be afraid to ask for help. If there's something you don't know, there's something you're struggling with, or something that is not clear, ask for further clarification, ask for advice, ask for help, ask for assistance. Say, okay, I understand that you want me to do this, but what are your recommendations in which to accomplish it? Sometimes that might actually get your boss to be inspired, and it might light a fire within your boss and have them go back, and relive kind of their days of doing those types of things and offer their knowledge and experience to you as well too. I get fired up when people ask me for my advice. I get fired up when people ask me for my help and my assistance. Now, sure, I don't have to do it, but I want to. As a leader, I owe that to them. Okay? I owe that to them. All right. So I hope everybody's doing well today. I just want to kind of take a short pause to recognize some people that are in the room here watching me on this live. Great friends of mine, and I hope that you can go and subscribe to their channel as well too. 101 Food Travel, welcome. Thank you for joining me here today. If you have not visited 101 Food Travel's channel, please do so. Absolutely amazing recipes. My goodness, I'm going to have to try some of those recipes out. You have some great food recipes. I'm always on the lookout for new recipes, new food ideas, and this, that, and the other. So if you have a channel that has food recipes, I want to watch those. I want to see those. I want to try those out. I want to eat everything. All right. So also in the room is Rodaline Delos Reyes. Thank you for joining me here today and watching my live stream. Once again, if you have any questions or something that you would like for me to talk about, please let me know, and I will do my best to talk about what it is that you want me to talk about. So I'm kind of taking a short pause here. I'm doing some cleanup here, adding some moderators. Thank you for joining me here. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody here. Want to add some moderators here. All right. Thank you for joining me. And yes, please smash that like button, share the stream, let everybody come on over and get a little bit of motivation on this amazing Saturday. Earlier today I was watching something, and there was a comment that was made, and it was talking about the day. Yeah, you're welcome. Very welcome. And they said, oh, it's Monday, or, oh, it's whatever. Do you ever find yourself on Mondays or dreading a certain day, like, oh, I hate Mondays, or what have you? Do you ever find yourself doing that? Or do you ever find yourself saying, oh, thank goodness it's Friday, or thank goodness it's the weekend? All right. If you ever find yourself saying, oh, I hate Mondays, or thank God it's Friday, let me know in the chat. I got something for you. All right. So here's my take on that. You know what? Every day for me is Monday. Every day's Monday. I don't look at Monday any differently than I do Tuesday. I don't look at Wednesday any differently than I do Thursday. I don't look at Friday any differently than I do Saturday or Sunday. Every day is Monday to me. Every day I get up, and I am truly blessed and truly thankful for the opportunity that I was able to get up. I was able to wake up and be able to motivate and inspire not only myself, but other people as well too. Because I'm here to tell you, if you cannot inspire yourself, you won't be able to inspire others. If you cannot motivate yourself, you will not be able to motivate others. Remember, you have to take care of yourself first before you can take care of others. Okay? Who here has ever ridden on an airplane and has heard the lady there, the gentleman there, give that little brief over the intercom? And they always tell you that In the case of an emergency, put your mask on first and then help others. Okay? Have you ever heard that? I know myself, I have. And the reason why that is because you cannot take care of others if you do not take care of yourself. You have to be able to take care of yourself first before you can take care of others. Because if you neglect yourself, all right, you will not be able to take care of other people that well. The way you take care of yourself is the standard that you set for yourself and others. So if you learn good, you develop good, you grow good, you take care of yourself good, that standard, okay, will be taken over into other things that you do within your life. If you struggle with something, you're going to struggle with something else. Here's a great quote. This is an absolutely amazing quote right here. How you do anything is how you do everything. How you do anything is how you do everything. Okay. That is such a great quote, amazing quote. And it's true. But how you do anything is how you do everything is based off your standards for anything or for everything. If you have high standards, then you will continue to take appropriate action and you will be a high achiever. If you have low standards, well, then you will achieve things at a lower level. It's all about your standards, which is derived from your values. What do you value? If you value family time, you will value family. If you value money, you will value money. If you will value personal time, you will value personal time. Your standards are closely related to the things that you value most. Have you ever noticed that? That's very interesting. When I discovered that right there, okay, when I discovered that my standards are closely related to the things that I hold valuable, that blew my mind right there. I was absolutely mind blown when I linked and connected those two together, because there's things that I value. Every single day, there's things that I value. Okay. And I hold those things that I value to a higher standard because I value them. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that I'll let other things slip or fall to the wayside. Okay. I just need to be more aware of those types of things. All right. So everything is affected by the choices that we make. Everything we do, we choose to do. Everything we don't do, we choose as well. Life presents itself with opportunities and possibilities every day and is so full of choices that we can make. The choices we make will have a profound effect on whether we are successful, unsuccessful, healthy or unhealthy, fit or unfit, rich or poor, happy or sad, and so on. Have you ever noticed that? Have you ever noticed that the choices that you make on a daily basis affect your mood? They affect, the way that you feel. They affect the way that you think. Have you ever noticed that? Okay. Now I'm going to share with you a couple of tips that I've learned over the years. Okay. You have to have morning habits in order to set your day up for success. Morning habits, morning rituals, morning routines, whatever label you want to put on it works best for you. Okay. Who here has a morning routine? Let me know in the chat. Who here has a morning routine? Who has morning habits that you do every single morning when you get up? Okay. I know myself, I have morning habits. I have a morning routine. I have things that I focus on every single morning that allows me to have a great day. I have things that get my mind ready to take on the day, because I'm going to tell you right now, if you are not ready to take on the day, you will wander throughout your day not taking appropriate action, not being focused on your bottom line up front, on what is important to you and the things that you need to achieve throughout the day. So you need to start right there first thing in the morning with morning habits and a morning routine that sets your mind, your body, and your spirit up for a great day. Okay, so here's kind of my morning routine. Let me share you my morning routine. The first thing that I do is get up and I do not hit the snooze button. Don't hit that snooze button. You absolutely must not hit that snooze button. If you hit that snooze button, you might as well just go back to sleep and not get up that day because you are not ready for the day. When that alarm goes off, you get up immediately and you jump out of bed. That right there is the first thing that you will tell yourself that will set your day up for success. I am ready. Let me jump out of bed and go do the first thing that I need to do. And what's that first thing that you need to do when you get out of bed? You need to make your bed. That's the first thing that I do when I get out of bed. I get out of bed, I make my bed. Because you know what? That's that first task that I accomplished in my day. Once you accomplish that first task, it sets your mind and your body up to go achieve that second thing. Okay? And what do I do second? All right, well, I go into the bathroom and I brush my teeth, throw some cold water on my face, look at myself, make sure that I'm ready for the day, and then I go do some exercise. You got to go do some exercise, whether it be some push-ups, some sit-ups, jumping jacks, whatever it is. The idea is to move. Get yourself moving. Okay? Once you get yourself moving, once you set your body in motion, it's in motion. What starts out in motion continues to stay in motion. Once you get everything in motion, it's a lot easier to keep going. It's a lot easier to take that momentum and continue going once you get it going. But a lot of people struggle with getting things going in the morning. Okay, you know why? Because the first thing that they do is get up and they grab their phone and they start scrolling through social media, and 45 minutes later, they're still laying in bed scrolling through freaking social media. Looking at posts, looking at pictures, looking at things that are going on in other people's lives that are causing them to be envious, hateful, or whatever negative connotation that you can put onto it. All right? Don't immediately get up and hit the snooze button. Don't immediately get up and start scrolling through social media. Get up, make your bed, wash your face, brush your teeth, get some exercise. Now, after that, here's what I do. I go downstairs. I go downstairs, and the first thing that I do is I fuel my mind and I fuel my body. Or after I exercise, drink water. How many of you drink coffee the first thing in the morning? Don't drink coffee, drink water. The first thing that you need to do after a night of sleep is to rehydrate yourself. So drink water. Here's what I like to do. I like to not only drink just a water, but I like to drink a green drink, so to speak. So I've got different variations of a green drink that I drink in the morning, and it just depends on what I want to do. So here's one green drink that I drink in the morning. I take a green drink supplement, a powder, that I mix in with water, along with some MCT oil and a squeezed lemon. I mix that up and I down that as fast as I can. What I do with that, what that does is it hydrates my body and it gets my mind ready for the day, because MCT oil is one of those things that, it's a good fat that, it burns quick. It's kind of like a thermogenic, and it's a brain food, so to speak. Okay. Another green drink that I do, now this is going to sound really interesting, but believe me, it works. And it's also very tasty as well too. So I take Metamucil, I think is what it's called. Metamucil, I think is what it's called. Mix that in with some water along with a green drink powder, and I mix that up. What that does is it gives me the water, gives me good fiber, gives me the green, and it helps me. I can even throw some MCT oil in there if I want to. Once again, it's a matter of, what it is that I'm in the mood for. But the first thing that I don't do is I don't just eat something heavy. I got to rehydrate myself. Okay. So that's something that you can do as well too. Make sure you rehydrate yourself. Once that is done, you got to fuel your body with a brain food. Here's a brain food that I like to do. Okay. I don't eat cereal or, eggs and bacon and all that stuff right there. The first thing that I do after that is I take blueberries. I mix blueberries in with like a Greek yogurt or a French yogurt, some type of a yogurt, and I take Mucilix and put that in there. Mix that up, and then I eat that. Okay. So that's most likely what my breakfast consists of, instead of cereal or instead of, eggs or pancakes or all that stuff. You got to remember something. When you're fueling your mind and your body, think of it as fuel. I'm fueling. I'm not eating. I'm not drinking. I'm fueling. Okay. One of the greatest quotes that I ever, it was kind of a punch. It was kind of one of those things that's like, you know what? You hear a lot of people or athletes or whatever say, I diet and exercise. Have you ever heard that? Diet and exercise is important. You got to have a diet and you got to go out there and you got to exercise. No, I don't diet and exercise. Okay. I eat and train. I fuel and train. So if you're into athletics or you're into fitness or whatever the case may be, think of it that way. Don't diet and exercise, fuel and train. But you got to fuel your body with the right stuff. Okay, if you want to go out there and have that energy, that strength, in order to go do the physical activity that is necessary to go do. Okay, and so Vilex Vlog, you have a great, I guess, point right there. Okay, when you wake up, you thank God for another day, drink water, and then you cook breakfast. When you put God first, okay, you put yourself, not necessarily second, but when you believe in something higher than yourself, you won't necessarily think of yourself first. Okay, if that kind of makes sense. I thank God every day. We pray in our household before we eat, before we get up, when we get up, when we go to bed and everything. Both of my kids do that as well too. And we taught our kids at an early age in order to pray. Be thankful. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of people that's out there in the world that don't have the same opportunities that you have. I'm truly blessed, truly thankful for every opportunity. I'll give you something. All right, so I'm a businessman. I'm an author. I'm an entrepreneur, so to speak. Every time that I make a sale, I immediately give thanks. All right. Thank you, God, for this opportunity. Please allow me the strength, the courage, the knowledge, the experience, the discipline, the time to be able to serve those that have put their faith and trust in me. Allow me the continued opportunity to serve. And thank you, God. I wouldn't be able to do this without you. That's a version of a prayer that I say every time that I make a sale within one of my businesses. Okay, because I'm truly thankful for that opportunity. And I know that, without God, that I wouldn't be able to accomplish those types of things. All right. So that's a part of, a morning routine. So after fueling my body with a green drink, then, I fill up with not necessarily food. I wouldn't really call it food, but basically the blueberries, the yogurt, and the mucilix. Once again, brain food, body food. I think it just contradicted myself, but anyway, you know what I mean here. I got to give myself fuel. Okay, all right. So J. Kurt Vivo just came in. Hey, how's everything going? Thank you for joining me within my live stream. Make sure you smash that thumbs up button, share the stream. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe, hit the bell icon so that way you get notified when I do go live. I'm not really on a schedule, but I'm trying to get there. All right. So welcome to my live stream. And moving right along. Once again, if you have any questions or anything, please let me know. That I can talk about. I would love to share my advice, maybe not necessarily within this video, but if I have to create something in another video, I can do so. I want to be able to create content for you, and because this is not for me. All right, this really isn't for me. This is really more for you than it is for me. Okay, and I want to be able to provide purpose, motivation, and direction. And hey, thank you. 101 Food Travel, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching. Please, enjoy your family. Family time is very important, and that's one of the values that I hold in very high regard. So please enjoy yourself, enjoy your family. Have a great day. Wishing you all the best, continued success, and I look forward to watching more recipes from you. So 101 Food Travel, if you haven't connected with her, go connect with that channel as well too, and you'll get some great recipes. All right, so morning routines. I was talking about a morning routine. All right, so once again, notice that I said I didn't really look at my phone yet. I didn't read any emails yet. I haven't looked any text messages or anything like that yet. I've done everything else outside of doing any of that. Okay, so it's all about those morning habits. You got to get the right morning habits and the right morning routine that sets your day up for success. Okay, and the worst thing you can do is look at that phone, look at social media, look at your text, look at your email. It's the worst thing you can do. All right, so please, if I have shared something of value, let me know within the chat stream that I have shared some valuable content here today. Um, it definitely motivates me, inspires me to continue here. All right, so here's one that I like to call inspiration and motivation. Okay, inspiration and motivation. Have you ever been inspired or motivated by something simple? Something simple. Okay, the smallest thing can set things into action and lead to other things that are positive. And all you need is just a little inspiration, just a little motivation. Sometimes it's those small things that can turn or lead into bigger things. All right. Even when things are negative around you, it is possible to be positively inspired or motivated. Here's a great quote. Okay. Great quote. From our deepest and darkest despair comes our greatest achievement. Great quote. Okay. Sometimes it is from those dark moments that we are able to shine. You don't know where you're going until you know where you've been. And when you know where you've been, you know what you don't want to go back to, so you'll continue to move forward. All right. From our deepest and darkest despair comes our greatest achievement. All right. I know where I've been, and I don't want to go back to, some places I do want to go back to, but there's some places that I really don't want to go back to. All right. So sometimes we find ourselves at the bottom of the pit, and it's possible from that bottom that we are able to achieve our greatest glory. When we are faced with a mountain to overcome, it is easy to just put our heads down and quit. But when your back is against the wall and you feel the weight of the world is on your shoulders, you can achieve your greatest success with just a little inspiration and a little motivation. Okay? Just takes a little. Being faced with adversity or an overwhelming obstacle can be enough to ignite a spark in you that gets your adrenaline flowing to pick yourself up and get after it to climb that mountain. But I challenge you today, be inspired, be motivated, and create everlasting success. All right. So here's one. All right, if you don't mind, I'm going to take a short pause, drink some water. Been talking for about an hour and 21 minutes right now, and I have not had one drink of water. Throat's getting a little scratchy here. USA Blogger 2019, I know you said to drink water. All right, so here's one that I like to call Get Better All the Time. All right, so if you're new to my channel, once again, I want to welcome you to my live stream. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe, hit that thumbs up, and make sure you hit that bell icon to get notified when I do go live. So a new person in the room here, the Gaming Prince 91, hello, thank you for joining me. All right, so I'm sharing a little bit of content from my books. So I am a motivational speaker. I'm a published author. I've written 5 books. I have a few audio books, and I'm sharing some content from my books. I hope that you enjoy. All right, so here's one that I like to call Get Better All the Time. You should aspire to get better all the time. If you want to make a big impact on something, you should start small and work your way up by getting better all the time. Okay? Taking small steps along the way will allow for you to make huge strides over time. As long as you focus with the end result in mind and make improvements all the time, you can build future success in small doses. Okay, here's the thing you need to keep in mind. All right, you do not have to accomplish something in its entirety all at once. Break things down into smaller chunks, smaller accomplishable chunks, so that way you can achieve successes along the way. Somebody asked me one time, is like, do you want to be successful? I was like, well, of course, everybody wants to be successful. But you know what? I don't like to think of it as success because that sounds like it's a final destination. If you achieve success and you think that you have arrived, you have nowhere else to go beyond that. You've arrived. You have achieved it. I like to think of it as successes. Okay. I want to continue to achieve successes along the way, because then it makes it seems like there's still opportunity for more things to happen, more things to come. Okay. Now, as you achieve those successes, remember to reward yourself along the way. Okay. Giving yourself that little motivation, that little inspiration will allow you to continue action and will allow you to stay motivated and inspired to continue that action. Okay. Remember, if you want to make a difference, you have to work at it. This is work. It's work. Every single day it's work. It's a hustle. It's a grind. All right. Nothing is easy. There's no easy button on life. There is absolutely no easy button on life. Nothing in this world is easy. Nothing worth accomplishing, that is. It takes work. It takes motivation, inspiration, dedication, perspiration if you want to achieve those types of things. But you know what? Guess what? You didn't just wake up in this world and was like, you know what? I'm good at this. You wasn't born into this world a success. Like, I'm successful. I'm a businessman. I'm an entrepreneur. I am an author. I'm a motivational speaker. I didn't wake up in this world like that. I had to work at it. I had to learn. I had to grow. I had to develop knowledge and skills along the way. In other words, I had to get better all the time. And it all started with a dream. It all started with a goal. It all started with something that I wanted to achieve along the way. And then I developed that knowledge and I developed that skills and I got better at it all the time. Sure, I failed along the way. Okay. You will fail at something. You will suck at something. You will lose at something. I guarantee it. You will not be successful at everything that you do within life. But you know what? That's great that you have failed at something. That is great that you suck at something. That is great that you lost at something. Okay? That's great. You know why? Because failure is feedback. Failure is feedback. Every time that I've failed, I've gotten feedback on the things that I shouldn't do. Okay? Now, the idea, and this is what I like to call an after-action review. An after-action review. Every time that I do something, I need to take a step back, do what I like to call an after-action review, and I figure out what went well or what was supposed to happen, what did happen. Okay? Didn't realize we had a troll in here. But after-action review, you have to be able to identify what went happen, what was supposed to happen, what did happen, what didn't happen, and why didn't it happen, and then what it is that you need to do next time so that you don't fail again. As long as you do that after action review, you will put into process appropriate action in order to take next time. In other words, you're getting better all the time. You're improving. Okay? Now, this makes discipline and the determination to go the distance, regardless of circumstances, situation, or obstacles along the way, paramount to your success. As you are on your journey, make small, realistic goals, and as you achieve them, make sure you reward yourself. But whatever you do, don't quit, don't give up, don't slack off because of progress, and remain vigilant and ready all the time. Okay? If you do this, you will soon find that you are better off than you were before by making continuous physical, conscious efforts that will lead you to the results that you set out to achieve. Okay? Now, I know that we are definitely in a world where there's a lot of people that are out there that think negatively. There's a lot of people that get by on how well they can bring other people down. It sucks. It tremendously does. It absolutely sucks that there are people out there that just have nothing better to do in their life than to bring other people down and think negatively. Okay? Well, I'm here to tell you something. I'm here to tell you that thinking negatively cannot change what has already happened. It just can't. If something has happened, it's already happened. You can't go back in time and change something that's already happened if it was negative. All right? So let me ask you this. How often have you made a mistake and spent the entire day wallowing in your own guilt or self-pity? Okay. When you do this, you are draining yourself of valuable time and energy that could be spent on something that you have positive influence over instead of something that has already come and gone, something that has already happened. Okay. By getting upset, you will not accomplish anything anyway. So don't get bent out of shape over something that's already happened, something that's already come and gone. When you do make a mistake, it is good to learn from it so that it doesn't happen again. When you get upset over something that you have no effect on after the fact, you waste time and energy over those things that are no longer important. So instead of beating yourself up over something that you no longer have influence, learn from your mistake, be aware that it has the potential of happening again, okay, if you are not vigilant, and then move on to other things that you do have positive influence over. Okay, it's all about mindset, it's all about attitude, it's all about perspective. Okay, and those are things that you control. You control that. You control your mindset. You control your perspective. You control the action that you take every single day. Remember that. You control that. Okay. Here's one that I like to call apply and adapt. How often have you heard people complain about their job, their friends, their family, their coworkers, their employees, money, traffic, and other people or situations? All right, so I'm here to tell you that you do have control over your destiny if you learn to apply and adapt. Now, what do I mean by this? Well, before I go into that, let me kind of say this right here. You should apply your knowledge and experience to situations you have control over so that you can influence and add value to others. But be open-minded and flexible in order to adapt to the situations in which you have no control. Okay? Through positive influence, you can make a difference not only in your life, but in the lives of others. My challenge to you is this: apply and adapt where you can control a destiny. All right? All right, so Siberian Husky Mom, thank you for watching. Thank you for joining. Yeah, it's okay that you had to put it on mute. I fully understand. I definitely don't hold any of that. I'm just glad you're here. I'm glad you're watching. Glad you're giving me some time. And I am definitely glad that you are here. All right, so let me know in the chat if if I'm providing value or I'm, giving you some motivation, some inspiration. If I've given you some new tips, tools, and techniques, please let me know. I want to know what you learned here today. I definitely want to know if I have given you some value. And that's my goal. That's really my goal. I want to be able to give back to you what I've learned over the years. Okay, so. Earlier we was kind of talking about trolls and this, that, and the other. And I don't pay them no attention. If somebody's out there and they got something negative that they want to say, go ahead. That's from their perspective, because, at the end of the day, I discovered a long time ago, and this is one of the best things that you can do as well too. Once you discover what I'm about ready to tell you, it will absolutely change your mindset on things that happen within this world. There are things that happen in this world for a reason. Okay. And once you understand the fact that nobody is right and nobody is wrong, but yet everybody is right and everybody is also wrong based off of their perspective. Okay. And once you learn to let that go, you will learn not to hang on to those types of things. Because remember, at the end of the day, if you and I are in a conversation, I'm right. And I'm also wrong, depending on the perspective. You are also right. You are also wrong, based off the perspective. So I never really fault anybody, say, oh, you're right. Well, you're also wrong too. And vice versa. I'm always willing to listen if somebody wants to tell me that I'm wrong in something, because I had somebody make a post on one of my videos one time and they said, oh, you're wrong. I disagree with you. Okay, that's great. You are correct. What you give life to and what you give energy to can consume you. It can take over you if you let it. So don't give it life. Don't give it energy. I've discovered the best thing to do is not necessarily agree or disagree with somebody, okay? But as long as they know that it's from their perspective, that's great. That's your perspective. You're right. Okay. Now, what's this leading to? This is leading to what I like to call be a class act. Okay. You got so many people that are out there that are not really a class act, and they basically take an angry situation and they are angry with it. Anger just breeds more anger. So my challenge to you is to be a class act. Okay. Be a class act. So here's how this originated. I was recently watching a cooking competition, and after the hard-fought battle was over and the winners were declared that would go on to the next round, I saw something absolutely amazing within this particular competition. So the contestant that was judged to be eliminated from the competition offered to stay on to help one of the other contestants. Now this person did not have to do that, but they did anyway. And you know what that did? That showed the level of professionalism of this individual. Okay. To me, this showed an extreme level of class in the individual that even after being eliminated, was professional enough to offer assistance, even though it wasn't necessarily needed, required. So this was a huge learning lesson for me, and it proved that you should always try to be a class act by offering to help, even when it's not needed. By doing this, it shows the amount of class that you have. All right. And anyone can just stand around and watch others struggle. Okay. But when you see someone struggling, the best thing you can do is offer help, offer advice, be a class act, in other words. Okay. All right. I want to take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you for taking time out of your day to join me here today. I have to wrap this up because I got somewhere else that I have to go here very shortly. But I do want to take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you for joining me here today. Thank you for taking time out of your day to listen to the things that I had to say. Hopefully that I motivated and inspired you, or given you some tips, some techniques, some resources to help you within your day. And if you would like to connect with more from me, you can do so by visiting my website. Please, terrythompson.me is my website. There you will find more content from me. You will also find my books. Right now I have 2 books that I'm giving away absolutely for free. All that I ask you to do is just join or just sign up, provide an email address, and you will get immediate access to my books. So the 2 books that I'm talking about, I have an ebook, How to Live Your Best Year Ever in 2019. Okay. When you provide an email, you will get instant access to that book right there. I also have on my website, terrythompson.me, my audio book, Leadership Solved. Okay. Give me your email address. You will get instant access to my audio book, Leadership Solved. I promise that I will not spam you. Okay. My goal is not to spam you. My goal is not to ask you to buy anything. I don't want you to buy anything. I'm going to give you those absolutely for free. Okay. And all that I ask for is an email address. So that way I can continue to provide more content to you, more value to you, more videos, more opportunities for you. Now, you kind of want to ask me, why am I giving away my books for free? Here's why I'm giving my books away for free. I'm giving those 2 books away for free because that's my value added offer to you. That's kind of my, I guess, bribe, if you will, okay, to engage with me, okay, to give me an opportunity to coach, teach, train, and mentor you from my knowledge and experience in a way in which you can discover content from me. And if you want to take it a step further, by all means, my books are there for you if you choose to take it to that step. But you know what? I'm doing this because I have something bigger in mind. I have something bigger planned for the future. I am currently in the process of creating 2 things. Okay, now I have multiple things that I'm currently creating, because remember, I do have multiple websites. Okay, and each one of those websites has something different that I'm doing. But this is me. This is Terry Thompson stuff that I'm talking about here. I currently have online courses that I am in the process of creating that will help you build a business, that will help motivate and inspire you to be an entrepreneur, that will give you the tips, tools, and techniques to do things that are within the business world, within the entrepreneur world, that will take your life to the next level. Whether you want, personal success or professional success, you want to go into business for yourself. I am currently creating an online course, and I'm creating content specifically designed for that. Okay, that's the reason why I want to give you free content, because I've got paid content that's coming. Okay, I've got paid content coming. And I also am in the process of creating a planner. Okay, so I think I have one available here. So I also have a planner. I developed a planner. It's kind of a one sheet here, so it's kind of bent up here. But I have a planner that I created that I like to call the Bottom Line Upfront Planning Method. Okay, so I'm also creating a planning method. So that's going to be something that is also a paid for product. And I'm going to teach you how to plan, how to create a good day, how to get to your bottom line up front. So that way you can focus on what that is throughout the day. You can increase your mindset. You can identify opportunities for the day. You can have a schedule of things to do. You will have a spot for notes and then reflect, because the most important thing that you can do every single day is to identify what your bottom line up front is, identify the tasks that are going to help you achieve that bottom line up front, and then at the end of the day, reflect on what it is that you did throughout your day. And that's what this bottom line up front planning method is going to be all about. So I'm going to create an online portal in which you can get immediate access to that as well too. So that's also something else that I am working on. And I hope that once that is available, that you will be able to join that, because I want to be able to teach you how to have a good day. I want to be able to teach you how to plan your day, how to set priorities, how to be thankful. There's so many different things that I'm putting within this particular planning method that I really think, and I believe, and I know that it's going to help you plan your day. Okay, so once again, those are things that I have coming up here very shortly. So once again, if you would like to connect with more from me, you can do so by visiting my website, terrythompson.me. Go over there, sign up, get my books for free, get my audio book for free, and show me that level of support. I look forward to motivating you and inspiring you. I look forward to going live again. I look forward to seeing you on my next live. And once again, if you got value from today, please let me know. If you have questions, please let me know. Give me some ideas and some feedback, because that will only help me grow and develop into a better live streamer. That will help me grow and develop into a better vlogger. And you know what? You never know. I will give you credit within a video if you've inspired me to do something. I will provide a link back to your channel. Okay, so here's an opportunity for you. Here's a great opportunity for you. I'm about ready to also start another series called the Leadership Is series. I know earlier I talked about a couple of different opportunities for series, and I've been thinking about this. So here's an opportunity for you. I've got a series that I will start here very shortly called Leadership Is. Within this series, what I will do is I will talk about a particular word and what that word means to me in the form of leadership. Okay, so let's say, for example, I got the word empathy. In that video, I will talk about the word empathy, what it means to me, what it means, in the form of leadership, and then I will talk about that. If you provide me with a word that you want me to talk about, I will talk about that word. I will create a video for that word. I will also mention you that word came from you, and I will put a link back to your channel in the description of my video, in basically a goal, end goal set to bring visibility to you as well too. So that's how I can help you grow your channel as well. So once again, I want to thank you for watching me. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I look forward to seeing you in the next live stream. I'm wishing everybody all the best, continued success. May you have a blessed day, and I will see you next time.